Okay, we are back on YouTube Live. Oh shit. Okay, Q&A. Okay, so before we get started, y'all, welcome to the estate. Okay, sitting in my fat penthouse, and I want to show you guys how to be an absolute dummy and still make tons of cash and still be able to make an impact being an ethical entrepreneur, being someone who actually desires to make a true impact and difference, positive vibration in the world. Okay, but let me give you some context. Okay, who is in your stories, your comments, your likes, your followers, whoever is engaging? Okay, that is exactly who you're speaking to. And this is a very nuanced topic, okay? Because I am not going to deny that brand equity isn't important. But what I am going to say, okay, is that if you do expect to go from 10 to 20K months all the way up to 50K, 100K months, there are some nuances that you definitely want to make sure that you're aware of, okay? Now, also, in addition to that, the only main thing that got me from 0 to 7 figures, hang on a second, let me just change up this mic on the tech. Okay, as you guys can tell, I suck at tech. Okay, I'm like literally the most incompetent person, one of the most incompetent people on tech. So let me just pull up this camera and change this up because this is switched up. Let me move that away. There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's a little bit better. Can you see my face? Okay. As you can tell, this mic is not fully mic'd, but that's okay. We're making it work. We're making it work. Okay. Okay, so essentially, it was positioning my offer, okay, my actual high ticket offer, my mid ticket and my low ticket to get it in front of tons of only the dream client and positioning me as a category of one, okay, transcendent beyond my peers. And to get that offer in front of tons of only the right dream clients and positioning me as the category of one as the only solution to their biggest problems is, okay, so here's the thing. There's a lot of just kind of machine gunning of value, or this is, let me show you how wealth consciousness mindset I am. And that's all fantastic. But the problem with that is that people don't even know, like, what is your offer? Like, how does it even work? Okay. And you've got to be strategic about this and intentional about this, because if you're not, you're going to end up chasing this kind of high vibration tribal mechanism in groupthink. This is what groupthink is all about. People get very pissed when their philosophical beliefs get challenged. And so some of the most spiritual moves that I've made as an entrepreneur, made millions of dollars in the coaching industry, was in music before that, highly unfulfilled, was that I got very resentful when others would begin to essentially speak against my beliefs. Okay, this is when I was far spiritual side. And this has also occurred when I got too stuck in my fucking ego and began to not even be able to appreciate or enjoy the money. Okay, I was on a vacation with my ex-partner, and I appreciate the hell out of all of my ex-partners, love them to death, okay? Amazing human beings. And so I would be on a vacation in Mexico, and there was a moment when we were walking down the beach. It was literally like a dream fucking atmosphere. The waves are crashing. I could feel the sand, the sunlight on my skin. But deep down, there was this fucking feeling like I gotta go get back to work. And I stomped off the beach in this weird, and I just started to talk and talk and talk, and I couldn't believe it. But I started to literally hear my fucking inner dialogue was like, oh, this fucking vacation is stupid. We're a fucking, I'm getting bigger at, my partner doesn't appreciate it, blah, 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 and I got to go make the money. And I was like, holy shit, right? And I was making well past multiple six figures at the time. Okay, and that was wild. Okay, that was wild. And that was kind of the overcorrection that I had made when I broke out of this delusional, fantastical trance that many spiritual people get into when they have completely the wrong expectations. And they're basically just disassociating from their pain, the fact that their life sucks balls, with this kind of justifications around like kumbaya, like love conquers all, or just be yourself, right? So I had transcended that. And what I mean by that was one of the biggest spiritual moves I made was that I had hired over $200,000 worth of coaches to help me with systems, with automations, with delegation, and also with my leadership of my clients, myself, of course, because most people can't even lead themselves, with how I was actually allocating roles, data, process, people, vision. And so I got into this new way of thinking. And this happened once I realized what was actually happening was I was stuck in this kind of deep, hyper competitive frame. And you know this has happened to you because the society that we live in, you start to look at kind of how nature operates. Nature, if you really look at it at a very just natural level, everything is in competition. It's the circle of life. Everything is eating everything and consuming everything. And so to break out of that next paradigm and reach into that higher paradigm of collaborative consciousness, I had to realize that so many people are creating these words and languages and framing around like how they're going to position a product. And anyone who's been in the game like you for a while, you would also know that many people can't bring themselves to actually market effectively. And to give you an example of this, some of my most successful clients who run 8-9 figure actual companies, okay, with employees over 100, they sell some products that are actually not the best for your health. And yet they hire me for spiritual hypnosis coaching, and they end up becoming some of the most spiritually aligned, surrendered souls that I have ever met and that you will ever meet. Now, the reason why that is because as much as I have this kind of disgust for the fact that I have to talk to my audience sometimes like a baby, meaning I have to just rub in the pies in your face of the undeniable results that our clients are getting over multiple 6 and 7 figures, okay? Multiple 6 and 7 figures. Over 180 people we've helped to get to that level, meaning multi 5 to 6 figure monthly recurring revenue month after month after month consistently. And we've done that across 49 different niches and verticals. Now, the thing is that no one else teaches what I teach. And the reason why I share that is because it is just wild to know that if you're selling something that is intangible, that you still yet have to use language that's going to resonate with someone who you want in your high proximity spaces. And so I know that a lot of coaches, they have certain frameworks or tactics or strategies that they've learned, right? Maybe they learned them in 2022. Maybe they learned them in 2023. And that, I'm not against the freebies, okay? I'm not against adding value, but the problem here is that if you just notice who you're attracting in your audience, who's liking your stuff, who's engaging, who's viewing it, who's following you, who's watching your stories, I call this the authenticity shakedown. And the reason why I say that this is the year of the authenticity shakedown is because if you look at my content and the engagement, it's really shit. Okay. And it's actually pretty much across the board for many people. Now, the funniest part about that is that my friends who have bigger brands, who are coaches, get kind of a little bit resentful and pissed at the fact that someone like me, who used to be super insecure growing up, could barely talk to an old fucking lady and ask her for the time without getting scared. I could not get my life handled. Okay. By the time I was 26, I was delinquent, burnt out, chronically fatigued, depressed, anxiety, and addictions. To cope with that and to numb my pain and disassociate from my pain, that guy he has left my body for the most part. Okay. And with that being said, I recognize that someone like me could sit here and I'm living in convenience. And yet the thing that I was thinking to myself before this live was that I don't want to fucking go live. I don't feel like it. I really need to tap into my feelings and sense, is this really aligned? No. You see, that's the thing I want to be very clear about when it comes to high level communication and leadership and consciousness, is that I am choosing to do things that get me uncomfortable. I'm choosing that every single day, whether that be the sauna for an hour, whether that be the cold plunge for 3 minutes, whether that be heavy lifting and failing upon failing, and then having my friends just shove me to the ground and say, you little fucking dog, you little Asian ninja. Yeah, no one gives a fuck about your success. So, okay, I have people in my life. So that validation that I get a lot of times every day from kind of being well known in the industry doesn't feed this kind of narcissistic pattern of addiction to validation, addiction to being right over people, addiction to thinking I know it all. That's called the superior complex. And some of my higher level clients, they finally get over themselves and realize they don't actually know what they're doing, and they're not truly being results oriented, right? They're not truly having what's called a land the plane mentality. They're still getting kind of entranced into the standards of their clients and getting pulled down to that glorification of mediocrity of society. So there's that too. But when we act, that's why I have multiple coaches. Okay, that I invest 10K per month in every single month. I just invested 30K a couple weeks ago in myself. Why the fuck would I do that? Well, I don't need to explain why I do that. I want to, I choose to, that's it. I want to continue to embrace challenge. I want to continue to embrace fear. And so before we get started with, before I show you how this works, I just want you to know that your dream client is in your current audience. You may not believe that, but that's the truth, okay? People don't believe what they see. They only see what they believe. So if you don't subconsciously have that core identity and you don't truly believe that you can create high cash, consistent, sustainable months without burning your fucking self out or disappointing your partner continuing until the relationship just shatters, okay? I want to help you avoid that, okay? I'm here to help people with that prevention of pain so they don't have to continue to just go up and down in the feast and famine income roller coaster. So anyways, the moral of what I was showing you in that story of me walking the beach down in Mexico with my ex-partner was that I couldn't even enjoy the success. I couldn't even fucking enjoy the success. So my question to you is, when the fuck are you gonna laugh? When the fuck are you gonna be happy? When are you gonna wait? Like when you make the money you wanna make, is that the point when you're gonna finally start to enjoy the process for the process itself? Is that the point? Or is it gonna actually become aware that every freaking minute that goes by is another faster timeline. Life is going by like that. And most people will never accomplish something great in their entire life. And that is not something that I wanted to admit to myself, because that takes a lot of courage. It took a lot of courage for me to admit that my life sucked. It took a lot of courage to admit that I have no clue how to get to that next paradigm of those 40, 60K months. It took a lot of fucking balls to just admit that to myself, that I was unwilling to be wrong about some things, especially the timeline to getting to my ideal results, and doing it in a way where I didn't have to over struggle and be addicted to struggle. I didn't have to justify with spiritual concepts. I didn't have to overthink what I was going to say. I could literally jump on a stage and close 6 figures. I've done it multiple times in one day. Just the other week, one of my clients signed up 2 paid in full clients after doubling her price in one day with me by fixing her offer. And those are from people who just found her page 2 days prior. And here you hear all these people online telling you, oh, nurture, and I'm not against nurturing, right? I'm not against free shit. But again, the fact that you still believe that you need that to succeed fast is a nuanced half lie, okay? Because there are people in my community making 10, 20, 30, 50K profit the first 30 days of tweaking their messaging and tweaking their subconscious underlying identity beliefs that are actually wanting to keep them pushing away success. It's called the success barrier. That is a capacity to receive. That is a block around receiving and holding, maybe not feeling safe to receive. more than a certain amount. That's an upper limit. That's a glass ceiling. And the whole principle of changing your subconscious beliefs, not just at the mental, but at the somatic level, is actually creating a state control, but also having access to a system that gives you flywheels to enhance your state. Okay, because when you're making more money, you can't deny the fact that you're just naturally gonna have a higher state control because you're no longer in fight or flight. You're no longer in the survival scarcity vibration, this low frequency that honestly just wants to spread. You ever notice that when you get pissed, you just want other people to understand how you feel, so you start to unconsciously want to spread that? Or what about when you feel high vibe and you feel so happy, so joyful, so satisfied, so fucking pleasurable that you also want to just share that high vibe? Well, you can completely have the best of both worlds, but you gotta get out of the competitive paradigm, and you have to stop competing in the department of looks. You have to stop competing in the department of money. You will never win that game, especially if you're a guy looking to attract a high quality woman. You will never win the money competition. You will never win the looks competition. You won't. But what you can do is you can use the force of your personality. You can use the force of your magnetism and your attractive character, okay, character, integrity, to be able to draw that people in and to be able to be someone who has certain standards that they expect other people to behave. And I'll leave you guys at this before we get into how this process, the Embodied Wealth Codes process, works with Awakened Seven-Figure CEO, is that when you understand how to create social dynamics, when you understand how to understand the environment that you're in, you're gonna become so much more flow in your energy every day. You're not going to need to go back to the Amazon to do ayahuasca. You're not going to need to go to another rah guru seminar. You're not going to need to just buy the next shiny AI gimmick that just makes your brain lazy and chooses the path of least resistance over and over and over again until you just get so fucking in apathy that someone needs to shake you awake to break you out of the fucking trance you're in, right? But again, that's a whole nother conversation. When you truly receive what you are, you'll start to realize at those higher paradigms, that's where the magic is. That is where the magic is. And that's why I said that it sometimes gives me a little bit of an annoyance that I have to dumb down my marketing to rub the money thing in your face, to rub the lifestyle thing in your face, to rub the $2,000 worth of supplements and health things that I invest to every single month into biohacking myself to have endless fucking energy and gain energy while I work. Isn't that a thing, right? I only would have to continue to sustain this scale out of our business working about 15 hours a week because of this underlying system that I have running in Sell by Chat, which takes me to the next point around auditing. Now, before any one of my clients, okay, even begins to work with us, they need to take an audit of their time capital, their social capital, meaning their network capital, their skill set, high paid skill set capital, okay? They need to take an audit of their energetic capital, their spiritual capital, their physical capital, and they also need to take into account their environmental capital. So time capital is, let me ask you a question, okay? Every single day, how much time does it take you to get out of bed? How much time does it take you to take a shower? How much time does it take you to brush your teeth, wash your face, take a shower, towel off? How much time does it take you to get dressed? How much time does it take you to commute to the grocery store, commute back? How much time does it take you to go socialize with your friends? How much time does it take you to eat your food? How much time does it take you to talk on the phone with your family? How much time does it take you to play with your kids? And then let me ask you a question. By the time you knock down all that time, what you start to realize is that you actually don't have a lot of time. Not only that, but the constant level of distraction that is in people's faces is retardedly insane, because so many gurus online are telling you how to manage your time, yada, yada, yada. Well, if you really knew how to perform at a high elite level, you'd understand it's not even about time management because there is no such thing as time. What matters is actually project management and contextual management, meaning making sure you're allocating your energy properly so that you're not kind of ping-ponging and zigzagging all across in your brain, feeling drained at the end of the day because you're multitasking too much and it's just burning you out, and you're numbing your pain with Netflix, drinking, smoking, talking shit, gossiping. That's also around the spiritual and energetic capital. The spiritual and energetic capital, that thought capital is, okay, all that time that you were spending bickering, self-pitying, because you're just being yourself, and then all this shit around complaining and projecting envy when actually the rich and happy people are just running away from you because they know that if you talk shit about someone else behind their back, you're going to do the same as them. So they're running away from you because they don't want to be friends with someone who has secret envy against them, right? So think about all the time that you could have spent when that kind of shit talking was happening, the poop eating. You could have been thinking of big ideas to change the world. You could have been asking yourself, who are people who I would like to serve? Who would I would like to have an ethical, lucrative co-win-win relationship with? How can I present awesome products for my current clients and know exactly how to re-sign them, know how to actually communicate boundaries, know how to do client creep and client seep, know what part of the sales process that's involved in, know what conflict resolution is, know actually how to take feedback from clients, know how to take critical feedback from your coach and not take it fucking personally, but know that most people don't want to hear the truth about their blind spots, because if they did, they'd have to actually change themselves and recognize that what they're doing is never going to work. And if they keep doing that, it's going to get even worse. That's what we're talking about here. Okay, this is called opportunity cost. Every high-level entrepreneur that you know can see right through your bullshit. They can see right through the taker energy in you. They can see right. Here's the thing. To meet women is one thing. To know how to communicate with yourself is another. To know how to communicate with layman people is another. To know how to communicate with high-status men who've built something of high value and have successfully monetized that service or product, that's a skill set that probably would take you 3 to 5 years to truly master. Okay, that's nothing compared to learning how to talk to women. That's nothing compared to learning how to just kind of meditate and get spiritually tapped into source. That is nothing. Okay, knowing how to communicate value transcendent of the price shows us that price isn't an issue when value isn't a mystery. But it's okay. It is okay. Because when you understand the high-level skill set that pays the bills and pays that debt off, you can run circles around people who are better looking than you. You can run circle in business and in relationships. You can run circles around you. And that's like that kind of like petty little ego that like wants to prove your parents, I'm not made you proud. I'm good enough, right? Or like your exes just you wanting to watch your exes watch you winning and winning and winning, and just like in this winner effect upward spiral of just like happy, positive ecosystem of positive emotions, just upward spiral, just hitting this crescendo of sexy, harmonious, tantric fucking momentum. It's like, yes, more please. But then you're not attached to it. You could just let it go. You just be happy. You just be present. You could just love what is, right? You could just trust that cultivation, that fostering, that relationship with God, knowing that everything is fucking perfect in the universe, right? But for someone like me, someone who's a top-level marketer, we can't just feed you that simple truth because you'll stay broke. Or for my dream client, they're not fucking broke. They're actually doing really well. They have a great brand. They've got amazing high ticket offers. They've got some freebies that they should probably just let go of and instead do a low to high ticket model. Here's what I want to say to you. You are either giving away too much value and looking like a pick-me needy energy, like, oh, let me self-qualify myself, prove my value, convince you of my value, explain my value. Or you're just looking like that kind of supplicative, placating pleaser, where it just gives people the turn off, the ick, right? Imagine you're on a date and you just keep just kind of talking to them and over talking and just, just agreeing with everything they say and, just being kind. And there's nothing, I'm not against, I think that being a pleasant female or being a pleasant male is fantastic. But again, there's a fucking line, isn't there? There's a line when you stop becoming aware that you need to observe if someone else is going to reciprocate. You need to have an awareness of, are you letting them invest? Are you qualifying? Or are you just adding value and giving freebies? Because everybody does freebies. That's why I stopped working. Okay, that's my point. But what my clients do, okay, when they first get inside is they drop $33, $97, all these little old tickets, but they're gonna blow their mind. And I sold on the back end, behind the scenes, high ticket with very quickly within them purchasing that low ticket within a few days of them finding me. And this whole setup, this whole structure takes about 1 to 2 weeks max to have set up. And then every month you implement it, you apply it, your skill and your competency gets even better, which means you have to use less energy and time to get the same result. But if you keep investing the same, 5 to 10 hours a week in continuing to implement it, collect the cash, upsell behind the scenes, continue to sell even high ticket on a two-step triage call, to conversion call. Okay, many of my clients have an 80 and 90% conversion rate on high ticket. Okay, that's fucking retarded. When you look at like most people, they only have a 20, 30% conversion rate because they just suck at knowing what they're even selling. They suck at even closing sales consistently because they don't understand how to stop selling. Here's the thing. If you have this fucking echo chamber, this looping lack of gratitude, and just needing to be hyper spiritual, and you sit on the superior moral high ground, you're gonna come into any engagement, any sales opportunity with this fear of like, I don't wanna be salesy. I don't wanna be sleazy. The problem with that is that you don't even know what fucking leadership at a world-class level is. Because if you knew what that was, you would understand how to own your space and still treat people with respect. And the highest level of respect that you could give somebody is to give clear expectations. Now, if you're at a higher level, okay, if you're at a higher level, you would understand that, like, for instance, I sell high ticket offers, big time JVs to successful coaches who also, like me, have taken hundreds, I've taken thousands of sales calls. I'm not against sales calls, okay? I could teach you even how to sell 6 figures, multi-5 if you want, from the stage, at a challenge, at a workshop, okay? Most coaches, they don't actually sell because they look too needy on the challenge anyways, and they don't know how to facilitate it properly. They don't even realize that most of the cash is collected before the fucking workshop. But that's for another training, okay? That if you want to know how to do that, just DM me the word live and I'll show you how to sell from the stage live. It's not complicated, but if you're not pre-framing things, you're going to need to just like tell all these weird manipulative stories, and you're just going to look like you don't even care about your clients. You don't even care about your people. You're just there to tell stories and how to reframe objections. We all know that most people cannot take effective actions because they're in a completely unuseful paradigm, because what got them to here will never get them there ever. Okay, people only change until the pain has gotten so bad, until they mature enough to actually consciously connect with the value of connecting to your pain, with the value of connecting to how much your life is starting to look like you're a one-hit wonder and you're resting on the laurels of your past, which is super fucking lame, because you're just kind of going extinct. And your clients stop wanting to lead you. Your clients don't want to resign. So the LTV of your business model is kind of fucked because they don't resign. They don't stay. We help our clients get to $1 million within 1 to 3 years. It shouldn't take you any more than that, because we focus on building long-term, lasting relationships of people who stop fucking around and stop talking about success and stop looping on negativity, looping on victimhood, looping on just lack of gratitude, and they actually say, hey, I've gotten resourceful. I would like to know what you got going on. This is how much I have. I want to come transparent. I want to come clean. Okay, I respect your time, Theo. Okay, I respect your time. That means I'm not a taker. I'm not going to just waste your fucking time and ask you questions. I know what my problems are. Like, the thing is that I will never take someone who has experience in sales through a fucking sales framework, ever. I will throw that away and just be authentic. Because like, I know, buddy, you're shopping. I know, sister, brother, you're shopping for a coach. Let me ask you a question. If you thought this was any different from what you've tried, would you be talking to me? Like, what's really going on here? Like, what is it that you don't know how to do? Like, what have you tried? So, you know, like, I don't think you should do this. I think you should actually not do this. Okay, I don't think you should do this. I just think that, like, if you want to get a result, awesome. But I need you to actually qualify yourself to me and tell me why you even think I can help you. Like, why the fuck do you think I can help you? I know you're coach shopping. I know the type of buyer you are. Okay. And sometimes that heat is it can feel, right, like intimidating, right? But it's not that way, because I know my heart's in the right place. I know who the fuck I am. I know my intention. I know my clarity. I know my state. I know how to control my state. I also have evidence. So if someone can't appreciate that, which takes a lot of hard work, which takes a lot of time capital, then they're just not the right fit. So, like I said, don't comment, DM me the word live. Okay, guys? Again, one of the biggest problems that we see in the coaching industry is that many coaches don't implement anything because they're kind of just derping. They don't implement it. They don't value themselves enough to invest in themselves. That's okay. I've been in there too. You know, I've been broke multiple times. But again, it's about staying present to the moment and fully engaging and embracing the challenge, embracing the fear, expanding your capacity to handle responsibility, which is a reflection of the money you're making. The money is a reflection of the responsibility that you're making. Who you attract, who signs up with you, how consistently you are at signing clients every single week. Okay. That's being reflected to you in your messaging. Okay. And that takes one intensive day with me. We solve with our clients like that. Now, in Ascent Align to 20K, you sustain, regulate 15 to 20K months. Okay, within 30 to 90 days. That's super simple. In fact, that is the harder thing, because there's a lot of underlying blocks and resistances that our clients under 20K are stuck in. When you get to those 20K months, you ascend into our Elevate Elite 7, okay, cohort, where you start to actually streamline things. Okay, you streamline things and you actually scale your business model and you position your authority and brand. And that's a new skill set, but that's how you harness talent. That's how you get a team. That's how you start to actually make a lot of fucking money, and you start to change a lot of lives. You start to make real impact. Your health goes through the roof because you've got so much more resources to invest in your vitality and your focus and your clarity and your flow state and your purpose work and your relationships. Think about all the fucking opportunities you can provide for your kids. And the kids, they don't hear what you tell them about living the dream. They watch you and they observe, is mom or dad living the dream? Or are they just kind of feeling like shit about themselves because they're not getting results and they're just kind of coping through life? Or they're just kind of settling. It's okay to settle. We all settle, right? And there's plenty of shit that I suck balls at, okay? I'm a fucking clown sometimes. Actually, I want to just you to know that. I was one of the dumbest people growing up in high school. Got straight up B minuses at best. So I'm not someone special. I'm a goofy dude. I kind of like look kind of funny. I talk kind of funny. I'm kind of goofy. Okay, but that's the beautiful culture we have here in America. You got a whole bunch of fucking batshit crazy leadership coaches just fucking flailing around and self-amusement as they just kind of fucking just build out systems and edit videos and just travel the world having a fucking blast. you know, and everyone's just kind of like, what the fuck do I do, man? You know, she's got to have clarity on exactly what you're selling and how to deliver it so that you lead the frame with confidence, conviction, and you make those sales consistently and predictably, and you're 100% clear on the fact that you've got to become that person, yo. You've got to become the fucking client you want to see in your business. So if you are not behaving that way, wake the fuck up, because you could have time freedom to actually give you the opportunity to know what it means to live your fucking life. What are you going to do? Become a slave to your business, be glued to your phone? That's the struggle that many of my high-level clients who are making 10, 20K months are finished with. They're done with that because they want an actual sell-by-chat system. And that's where you turn a lead opportunity, which is a follower, a like, a comment, story view, into a conversation. Because without conversations, there's no conversions. And if you're going to just sit on your hands waiting for someone to click on your passive link in bio, your website that's convoluting, confusing people, or throwing money on ads that your offer still is not positioned, it's still not compelling enough to your dream client. And so then that's a waste of time and money capital. Huge waste of time and money capital. A funnel is not a fucking digital product. It's not a series of opt-ins. It is not a combination of content pieces. This is worthless without communication that truly converts. This is why I created my Transcendent 7-Figure Conversion System, because I want people to own their lane and their spirituality. They can't do that if they're self-concerned and they're not focused on a higher purpose, and they don't even know who they're evolving into, and they're not willing to actually be a mystery to themselves and just be okay with the higher that you go, the less people understand you. And that is why you need to have real friends in your life. That's why you want to appreciate nature and artwork. That's why you want to actually live a life of true sovereign freedom. Okay, these are just my opinions, okay? I'm not trying to place my beliefs onto people. I don't want my clients to ever become me, but these are proven frameworks that are actual framing around how you can actually respect your time and value your time at the level that the people who will coach you think that you should. And if they see you in that light, what does that tell you about the narrative in your head moment to moment? Okay, because guys, if you're rock solid on your messaging, you will actually start to really have a lot of fun, not just scaling your business, but you're going to actually have so much deep self-belief that you're going to be able to really transcend into that higher purpose vision and have the absolute time of your life. Like, I'm having so much fun. We're planning retreats. We're planning immersions in the end of the year. We're going to be traveling, doing live events. We're going to be co-creating with a bunch of our communities and clients. And we've almost got a wait list for one of our cohorts for the subconscious mind. I am fucking privileged and honored that I didn't know we were going to expand this quickly. But again, that's when you create leveraged asset that change the fucking game. And I'm so fucking excited about this, because this is about speaking dynamics. This is about communication. This is about helping the planet to really just heal and feel more connected. So anyways, guys, great news. One of our clients, Brandon, by the way, okay, stuck at $800,000 a month, took him to 2.5 million per month, and he was running a sales team. Okay, he didn't do that by himself. That was a sales team that he was running. Okay, so this just shows you the level that which transcendent communication can impact. Whereas it can impact people with a big following, but even with someone with a small following, like Caroline, who was stuck at 5 to 10K months, and we tweaked her offer, gave her one DM messaging shift, and also one communication speaking influence exercise to implement and give her that upgrade in energy. Okay, this is not energetics. Okay, don't get too excited. This is not going to have you like do the energetics thing, but it's really just using her voice to transcend her brand voice and her consistency, the vibration, the currency, the frequency of her consciousness as she was communicating on marketing and sales and all that fun stuff, and even delivery. She was able to actually crack 30K months within her first 30 days. So there's that too, okay? And she does not coach and make more money. She coaches in somatics, okay? Feminine healing work. So that's why I am trusted in the industry, because I built a 7 figures in hypnotherapy and relationship coaching niches, which is what you wouldn't see with some high-ticket coach teaching other people how to be high-ticket coaches, which I'm not against, but they've only built a successful business on make more money, which is pretty simple, pretty easy to do, okay? So you just got to get resourceful, creative. You don't have a money issue. You have a huge self-awareness issue, or you just can't make decisions because there's a lot of just heavy conditioning in someone's head that's not allowing them to even think clearly, okay? That's my concern for society, is that, like, if you don't have resources to invest in the highest quality food, the highest quality environment, the highest quality nutrition, the highest quality sleep, the highest quality, and there's a lot of things you can do for free, right? But I'm just saying, if you can't think clearly, what the fuck do you think is going to happen in your business? Nothing very fun. So it's not your fault, because a lot of coaches don't teach you on your strengths. They teach you only on their strengths that they own, that you may not own. And that's not your fault. So if you feel like you've been broken down over and over again and over and over again, just understand that if you do expect to have kids, if you do expect to live the dream, if you do expect to allow yourself to hit that release muscle, that flow state, that joy as you execute, systems are what you rise or fall to. And the ones that are working this year are 1000% different because of how the buyer sophistication have changed, how the economy shifts, and how also technology has shifted, but especially the buyer behavior. And that is why a lot of people are kind of spinning their wheels in the mud. And that's not the same thing as just letting the pigs roll in the mud, okay? You don't need to make pigs fly. All you need to do is communicate with the right people who are ready to fucking change the game and become who they really are, which is truly tapped into their infinite nature. So have a great day, guys. Much love. I hope you guys enjoyed this. DM me the word frame if you want to actually convert the leads in your audience. If you want to actually tweak your messaging in one day and know exactly how to just systematize that, automate that, so you can actually land the plane on these 50, 100K months, okay? It's not complicated. It's actually way less complicated. There's about 3 to 5 things that you need to be aware of. And when you become aware of these assets, you apply those. When you apply those, your skill goes up. When your skill goes up, you can actually release and you can punch through the wall easier because you're not constricted in resistance in this like have not paradigm of like, when I have the money, when I look perfect, when I have the ideal situation, then it will be for perfectly aligned. Like, dude, oh my God, dude. I'm like, I'm gonna jazz on over to this side. Okay, I just made 70K this month, and it's August 18th, Sunday evening out here on the Western Hemisphere. And I'm gonna go to the Eastern Hemisphere, and that was all cash collected. That's not revenue signed. That's cash collected from my current audience. So if you want those same results and you're fucking serious about that shit, what the fuck are you doing? Get out of the trance. You're getting lower to the standards of your environment. Your clients are dragging you down to fucking hell because they're coping and they're bitter and they're not willing to get better. You know the deal. You know who you are, okay? Because a lot of the people who see, the reason why I could say shit like this, that's somewhat obnoxious and a little bit in your face and rubbing the pie in your face, is because I was the fucking derper loser. Okay, I was the heavy energy weirdo. I was the creepy guy. I was the fucking delinquent. So I have every right to get pissed because I'm just getting pissed and frustrated at my old self because I could have prevented years of fucking pain and suffering. Okay, low-level people endure pain. High-level people prevent pain. It's quite simple. So guys, have the best night of your life. Life goes by like that, okay? Keep going. Love you so much. And by the way, we have sold out of our Speaking to Influence cohort. That's a vibe. Cannot wait to help those people change their lives and actually create a sustainable skill set that will pay them for the rest of their life. But we also have the opening of the doors to our new cohort iteration and evolution of Align 20K. If you still haven't hit 20K months, well, you might be a fit. I don't know yet, but you might be. Just DM me the word 20K. If you're already at 20K and you're capped, because there's a reason why you're capped, it's not just some illusion. You got to stop doing manual stuff, desperation stuff. You got to stop being a one-man show. You got to stop doing time for money and not have a leverage delivery process. You got to stop having complexity to your days. You got to stop wasting time getting in all these fucking distracted, doom scrolling loopholes and looking at your phone in the morning, constantly distracted. You have no one to hold you to a higher standard than you hold yourself. You have no clarity on what truly is going to be the top tier offer that you are here to give, the gift that you are here to give, the multidimensional position max model offer that you are here to fucking give. That's what I'm talking about. If you're ready to liberate your true soul and still make the money you actually want to make, instead of making okay money and good money, you want to make crazy money, like millions of dollars, then DM me the word elite if you're ready to take your game to the next level and actually have the fucking time of your fucking life in a heart-led community of only fucking winners. People who have high standards because they know that they don't get their goals, they get their standards. No one ever gets their goals. They only get their standards. And you only get your standards, you start to realize you have to become the person who deserves that result. If you haven't gotten the result, it just means you haven't become that person yet. And there's no judgment against that. It just is what it is. And that's what I'll leave you guys with. All right. Have a great day, guys. Much love. Peace. Ugh. Only for